Hey everyone, and welcome back to Talk Room. Today we're diving into something I think we all can relate to.
Absolutely.
Staying healthy through exercise and good nutrition.
You think about it,
Yeah,
you wouldn't expect a car to run on empty or without a tune-up every now and then, right?
Right.
Our bodies are pretty much the same.
Well, yeah. That's kind of a good analogy.
So we've been looking at all kinds of stuff, studies, articles, even personal stories
Oh, wow.
about how to keep our bodies running smoothly.
Cool.
So think of this deep dive as your shortcut to understanding the essentials of a healthy lifestyle.
Perfect. So what exactly are we covering today?
Well, first we'll look at the amazing benefits of exercise,
Okay.
not just physically, but mentally too.
Right.
Then we'll give you practical tips on how to start a workout routine.
That you'll actually stick with.
Exactly. And we'll talk about eating healthy,
Yeah.
going beyond just the basic stuff.
Right.
We'll also tackle some common challenges
Okay.
and how to overcome them.
Like finding time or staying motivated, right?
Exactly. And finally, we'll share some daily habits that can really make a difference in the long run.
For long-term health.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's get started with exercise.
Right.
So why is it so important? I mean, we all know we should exercise, but...
Yeah. But there's so much more to it than just burning calories.
Yeah.
It really does affect both your body and mind.
Okay.
So when you exercise,
Okay.
your brain releases these chemicals like endorphins.
Yeah, we've all heard of endorphins.
Right. But it also releases things like serotonin and dopamine.
Oh, wow.
And those are really important for your mood, and they make you feel good.
Like happy chemicals.
Exactly. It's like a reward system.
Oh, interesting.
Where your brain.
I can definitely relate to that.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, there was a time last year when I was so stressed out
Mm-hmm.
and I felt really down,
Yeah.
And I knew I should be exercising, but
But it's hard when you're in that headspace.
yeah, it felt like just another thing on my to-do list. But I finally made myself go for a walk in the park.
Good for you.
Just 30 minutes.
That's all it takes sometimes.
And honestly, I felt so much better afterwards.
Oh, wow.
It was like a huge weight had been lifted.
Yeah.
And it wasn't just temporary. It was like my whole mindset shifted.
Amazing.
Yeah, it really made me realize how connected our physical and mental health are.
They really are. It's like a two-way street.
Yeah.
And beyond that, mood boost exercise is like giving your body a tune-up.
Okay.
It strengthens your heart, improves circulation,
Okay.
builds muscles and bones.
So it's good for everything.
Pretty much. Yeah.
I mean, are we talking about like specific types of exercise or just...
Well, there's so many options.
Yeah.
You've got things like running, yoga, lifting weights, swimming,
Yeah.
and so many more.
It's like a whole buffet of exercise.
It is. And the key is finding what you enjoy.
Right, because you're more likely to stick with it if you like it.
Exactly. Because, you
Yeah.
know, what they say, no pain, no gain.
Yeah. But it doesn't have to be torture.
Right. You don't have to be sore every day.
No, definitely not.
But you do have to challenge yourself.
Yeah, to see those results.
So, okay, let's say someone's listening
Yeah,
and they're convinced.
they're ready to go.
Yeah, they want to start exercising,
Great.
but they have no idea where to begin.
I totally get that.
So what's step one?
Well, the most important thing is to start small and be consistent.
Okay.
You don't want to go from 0 to 100 overnight.
Right.
It's better to ease into it.
What does ease into it mean?
It means to start slowly and gradually increase the intensity and duration.
Okay, that makes sense.
So for someone who's completely new to exercise,
Yeah.
even just 10 minutes of walking a day is a great start.
Really? Just 10 minutes?
Yeah, you got to start somewhere, right?
That's true.
And then you can gradually increase it from there.
Okay.
Maybe walk for 15 minutes, then 20.
Okay.
And then you can start incorporating other activities that you enjoy.
I remember when I decided to get back into shape.
Mm.
I hadn't exercised regularly in years.
Yeah,
And the thought of going to the gym was terrifying.
I can imagine.
So I started with something super simple.
Like what?
15 minutes of walking around my neighborhood every morning.
See, that's doable.
Yeah, it felt almost too easy at first.
Right,
But the important thing was to be consistent.
right.
And then I gradually started walking for longer, and then I started jogging a bit.
And you built up to it.
Yeah, exactly. And that slow progression helped me to avoid burnout.
Okay, so you're saying it's not about going all out right away.
Definitely not.
It's about finding something you enjoy and sticking with it.
Absolutely. And stick to means to continue doing something regularly.
Right, to make it a habit.
Exactly. And that's how you see results over time.
Like Rome wasn't built in a day.
Exactly. You got
It
it.
takes time.
Yeah. Patience and consistency are key.
Okay, so we've talked about exercise.
Mm-hmm.
Now let's move on to the other essential part of staying healthy. Nutrition.
Right.
What are the most important things to keep in mind when it comes to eating healthy?
Well, I'd say the most important thing is to focus on real, unprocessed foods.
Okay.
You know, the kinds of foods that are packed with nutrients.
What exactly are nutrients?
Nutrients are all the good things in food
Okay.
that your body needs to function properly.
So like vitamins and minerals?
Exactly. Vitamins, minerals, antioxidants,
Okay.
all those good things.
So we should be eating more of those
Absolutely.
and less of the processed stuff.
Right. You want to cut down on
Okay.
things like added sugar-refined carbs
Okay.
and those heavily processed foods that are full of artificial ingredients.
So cut down on means to reduce the amount you're eating.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
It's all about making healthier choices.
It's like that saying, you are what you eat.
Absolutely. That's a great way to put it.
I mean, I know I feel so much better
Yeah.
when I'm eating healthy foods.
It's true. The food we eat really does have a direct impact on how we feel. Yeah, I've definitely noticed that myself. I mean, there were times when I was basically living off of takeout and convenience food,
Yeah, we've all been there.
and I just felt so sluggish and unfocused.
It's that processed food, it just doesn't give your body the nutrients it needs.
Right. It's like empty calories.
Exactly.
So you're saying it's not enough to just avoid the bad stuff.
Right.
We also need to actively incorporate healthy foods into our diets.
Exactly. And there are so many delicious and nutritious foods out there.
Okay, so give some specifics.
Well, fruits and vegetables should be a staple.
Of course.
They're packed with vitamins, minerals, antioxidants.
Okay.
And they're so versatile.
Yeah, you can eat them raw cooked.
Yeah, in smoothies, salads, soups.
So many ways.
And don't forget about hydration.
Oh yeah, water.
Water is so important for everything,
Yeah.
so make it your go-to beverage.
Instead of sugary drinks.
Exactly.
Okay.
And then protein is essential too.
For building muscle, right?
Yeah, for building and repairing tissues.
Right.
So make sure you're getting enough from sources like chicken, fish, beans, lentils.
Okay, so those are the building blocks.
Yeah, those are the key components of a healthy diet.
I remember when I started making a conscious effort to eat more fruits and vegetables. It was a gradual thing,
Yeah.
you know? Yeah, I didn't change my whole diet overnight,
Right.
but I started adding a salad to my lunch, and I'd have fruit for snacks instead of chips or candy.
That's a great way to start.
And over time, I really noticed a difference.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I had more energy, my skin looked better.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was great.
It's those small, consistent changes that really make a difference in the long run.
Right, because it's not about being perfect.
No, it's about progress, not perfection.
Exactly.
Now, let's be real for a second.
Okay.
We all face challenges when it comes to staying healthy.
Yeah, definitely.
So let's talk about some of those common hurdles.
Okay. I mean, the first one that comes to mind is time.
Oh, yeah. Time is a big one,
Everyone's always so busy.
right? I don't have time to exercise is probably the most common excuse.
Yeah, I've definitely used that one myself.
But it's often about prioritizing
Right.
and finding those little pockets of time throughout the day.
Right.
You know, maybe wake up 15 minutes earlier
Huh?
or use your lunch break for a quick walk.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, even small bursts of activity can make a difference.
So it's about being creative.
Exactly.
What about the cost of healthy food?
Yeah, a lot of people think that eating healthy is expensive,
Yeah, that can be a barrier for some.
but it doesn't have to be.
Okay.
I mean, yes, some specialty health foods can be pricey,
Yeah.
but you can eat healthy on a budget.
Okay. Oh.
Well, by focusing on whole seasonal produce,
Okay.
buying in bulk when possible,
Mhm.
and cooking at home.
Right, because eating out all the time is definitely going to add up.
Yeah, and it's usually not as healthy.
So it's about being smart and planning ahead.
Exactly.
And what about those tempting unhealthy foods?
Oh, yeah, those are everywhere.
Yeah, it's like a constant battle.
It is, but it's not about depriving yourself.
Okay.
It's about being mindful and making healthier choices most of the time.
So stay away from the junk food as much as possible.
Yeah, you want to minimize it,
Okay.
but it's okay to indulge every now and then.
Right, everything in moderation.
Exactly.
Because if you restrict yourself too much,
Yeah,
you're more likely to binge later on.
exactly.
So it's all about finding that balance.
Yeah, and remember, where there's a will, there's a way.
I like that.
If you're truly committed to your health,
Yeah?
you'll find ways to overcome these challenges.
Right. It's about making it a priority.
Exactly.
I know I've definitely had to get creative at times.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like when I was in college and on a super tight budget,
Mm-hmm.
I started meal prepping on the weekends.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah, it saved me a ton of money.
In time, probably.
Yeah, and it made sure I was eating healthy throughout the week.
That's awesome.
So let's talk about some daily habits that can help us stay healthy in the long run.
All right. So first and foremost, movement.
Okay.
You got to move your body every day,
Right.
even if it's not a full-blown workout.
Yeah.
Just keep up some level of physical activity.
So keep up means to continue doing it regularly.
Yeah, exactly. Make it a part of your routine.
Okay. And what about nutrition? Any daily habits there?
Well, planning ahead is huge.
Okay.
That's where meal prep comes in.
What's meal prep?
It's basically preparing your meals in advance.
Okay.
So you can grab and go during the week.
That's a good time saver.
Yeah, and it helps you make healthier choices.
Because you're not scrambling for something at the last minute.
Exactly.
And we can't forget about sleep.
Oh, yeah, sleep is so important.
It's like hitting the reset button for your body.
It's so restorative.
What does restorative mean?
It means it helps your body and mind to recover and recharge.
Okay.
You know, there's that saying, early to bed, early to rise makes a man healthy, wealthy, and wise.
I've heard that one.
Well, the wealthy part is debatable.
Yeah, but the health part is definitely true.
So getting enough sleep is crucial.
Absolutely.
All right, so to wrap things up,
Yeah.
we've talked about the importance of exercise,
Mhm.
how to start a workout routine,
Yeah.
the basics of healthy eating,
Right.
and how to overcome some common challenges.
And those daily habits that can make a big difference.
Right.
So now it's your turn.
Okay.
What's one small step you can take this week to improve your health?
Could be anything.
Yeah, it could be adding a piece of fruit to your breakfast
Okay.
or going for a 15-minute walk a few times this week.
Or maybe even prepping one healthy meal in advance.
Exactly. Just something small and achievable.
Because remember, an apple a day keeps the doctor away.
Yeah, that's a classic for a reason.
Small changes can add up over time.
Absolutely.
So thanks for joining us on this deep dive into staying healthy.
It's been a pleasure.
And if you found this episode helpful,
Yeah.
be sure to subscribe to Talk Room.
And stay tuned for our next episode, where we'll be tackling another fascinating topic.
See you then.